Hi friends, this is Dima the tutor. In this practical video, let's practice in the section called Listen and Write, to put it simply. Listen and Write. This is a section of Duolingo in which you are listening to a sentence, usually, mind you, one sentence, but sometimes it can be two sentences, or it can be even an incomplete sentence. If you don't know about it, so I will elucidate this mystery to you. You see, sometimes, don't be surprised, I will not show it now because it takes a long time to find. You can have not a sentence, you see, an incomplete, like a phrase, and so you can get like you can wonder what happened, why I don't recognize the clause, like I don't feel the subject and the predicate there, because there is no clause. But thanks God it happens more or less rarely. Usually you have a sentence. Now I'll show you, especially if you are new to Duolingo, I'll show you a couple of hard sentences, but also we will have one easy, it seems to me. Ultimately, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what level to practice. I mean that you should feel comfortable with all levels, because sometimes we make mistakes even at a simple level. Because Duolingo is an American test. They try and they like to, let's say, to swallow parts of the words while pronouncing them. It's peculiar to any language, not only English, but especially American pronunciation. It's typical. And even in simple sentences, due to their swallowing, as I say, like chunking and cutting and pressing or pressing, reduction of some elements of the sentences, you can just overhear. You will not think that that part existed or something like that, and you will write down some nonsense. So please be attentive to hards, mediums, simple ones. Of course, if you have an extremely high level of English, then it makes no sense for you to try to write down simple. You have to exercise only with hard level. But it's not usually the case. Out of you, maybe out of 100 of candidates, probably, the statistics, let's say 5 or 6 of them have really an extremely high level of English. About 50 or 60 have medium level, and about 30, or let's say they are beginners. Yes, and they are frightened with everything here. Okay, guys, so enough with the philosophy. Let's try. You know that you have 3 attempts, so I will now do something and comment upon this just along the way. Okay, so the best theory is practice. So let's listen to a sentence, and then you always try to decide, like, how would you do this without me? Because you will have to pass Duolingo, not I. Okay, let's listen, please, for the first time.
Due to disagreements in management and poor communication, construction began on both routes.
Tell me please, so what do you think? What have you remembered? Like, what do you remember from this? Probably some of you can retain in your mind the whole sentence, the whole structure. Still, I think most of you, and especially due to excitement, you will forget mostly. So I would recommend you 2 or 3 strategies to this, 2 approaches to this task. The first one, and I think I would use it at Real Duolingo, you try to retain in your memory the first part. You see, the first clause or the first part, the first group of words, let's say of 3 or 4 words. Because if you try at once to focus on the whole sentence and listen to it first and then type, according to certain, like my statistics, you will forget both the first part and the last part. So you will type something, but so try please to snatch the first segment and the last segment. So you will listen, 3 times. So when you listen for the second time, you will try to remember the medium, the middle of this, and finally, at the third attempt, you will try to memorize and reproduce the tail. However, this is approach number 1. If you feel comfortable with just this approach, which can be called like what I hear, I type, okay, let it be. You know that we are all unique. You have your own perception patterns, peculiarities, algorithms, and so on. So there is no universal way of doing it. If it existed, I would tell you honestly, it would be not a secret. But I have prepared a lot of people for this task and for Duolingo, And trust only yourself, yeah? So your own subconsciousness. I can only recommend something to you. But this method, the first one that I mentioned, is very, very efficient. I think at least more efficient than the second one, where what I hear, I type. Yeah, it's very nice. So, and the guys usually end up, they have typed like the first word, then he snatched out of it the sixth word, and then the 10th word, and so they look then at it and they feel that here they miss 5 words, here they miss 5 words, but they cannot reproduce because they don't remember. Okay, let's click retry and do it all over again. Okay, I will move just a second. I will move closer to the keyboard. So let's try to type something. Let's listen.
Due to disagreements in management and poor communication, construction began on both routes.
I was trying to remember that. Due to disagreements in management and let's presume that I have forgotten the rest. Yeah, but I have 2 more attempts and still 30 seconds.
Due to disagreements in management and poor communication, construction began on both routes.
Yeah, here I'm not waiting already till the end. Communication, oh my god, communication, comma, I think, construction, did you hear? Yeah, construction began on, and let's imagine that I've forgotten the third part.
Due to disagreements in management and poor communication, construction began on both routes.
On both routes, yeah. Yeah. Due to disagreements in management and poor communication, construction began on both routes. Yeah, very nice. I think if I click, for instance, transcript, like let's check ourselves. Due to disagreements in management and poor communication, construction began on both. Everything's fine. So this is an example of a hard level. Yeah, a typical hard level. I want to tell you that it's not the hardest that I have seen, but at least something serious already. If you meet something like this at Duolingo and you feel that you have done it correctly, congratulations, you can get 120, 130 and even more, at least for this sub-score. Yeah. Okay, let's do the next one. Hard again. So I will now use my first approach, which I told you about. So I listen most attentively. I input all my intelligence, energy into the first 3, 4, 5 words, depending upon the case. The tail, and I start typing it. The tail, while it is being pronounced, I mean the rest, let it be pronounced. Don't get distracted from this because you will forget the first part and you will waste your first attempt. But remember, it's only recommendation, yeah? You will say say this and that. Everything depends. Okay, let's listen, please.
A calligrapher may change his or her grip depending on the style and script.
A calligrapher may change. Sometimes I can also be wrong because just my head gets tired. A calligrapher may change. You see, and I have forgotten really his or her style. And so now it's time to listen for the second time.
A calligrapher may change his or her grip depending on the style and script.
His or her grip depending upon, yeah, upon, it seems to me, style and script, yeah, something like that.
A calligrapher may change his or her grip depending on the style and script.
Depending on the style and script. Yeah, I want to tell you that you have 1 minute for this. So you should not relax and sit and smoke and drink coffee. But if you do it intensely, everything will be fine. I think even if you don't have time, you will have been nervous and you haven't put this script here, yeah? You just didn't have time. The system and the grader, they clearly understand that you understood everything, but due to some circumstances, you didn't have time. Yes, you didn't manage to fulfill it in the allotted time. So it's not a big tragedy, you see. It's not a case when you only a calligrapher, then grip, script. No, you understand it. It's wrong. The system will adapt and the next task will be simpler. However, it will indicate that you cannot sway for more than something like 110, something like that. These numbers, which I tell you, they are more or less not ambiguous, but let's say relative. They are not absolute. They are only my ideas, so don't take please close to the heart. I have my own experience and statistics as a tutor, so I know what I'm talking about, but your case may be unique. Also, try to please now feel. We have done only two sentences. Try to feel how do you feel about them? Were they simple for you or extremely arduous? If extremely challenging, it's a good idea to go over the top and live next, I don't know how much time you have, weeks or months, live English, live Duolingo, live preparation. Otherwise, you will not get your desired score. If you need a professional tutor, please, you are welcome to contact me. All contact details are in the description to this video. Okay, let's go on. Oh, easy. Okay, let's have a rest, yes, and peaceful rest, and enjoy something simple. Okay, 3, 2, 1, let's listen.
You aren't allowed to park here.
I have recognized it from the first attempt, but probably. Okay, let's imagine that you have listened. You aren't, and then you need to listen again.
You aren't allowed to park here.
You aren't allowed to park here. Yeah, not difficult.
You aren't allowed to park here.
Yeah, you aren't allowed to park here. Nothing special, no comments, nothing. Aren't. Here, if you write are not, it's not a good idea because you clearly hear aren't. Though Duolingo, like they state that for contracted forms and for full forms, they don't give you a mistake. They don't, they don't penalize because. Still, in this case, I think it makes sense to write aren't, not are not, because the goal clearly said aren't. So don't joke with that because why lose precious points on nothing for nothing? Okay, hard again. Let's listen for the first time. Try to memorize first 3, 4, or maybe 5 words, and with the, I don't know how to even in English to express that, with the back of your ear or something like that. While you start typing this first segment, you feel the echo of those words which are left, but not more than that. Okay, let's.
Scientists currently debate the future implications of nanotechnology.
I clearly recognize scientists. Currently debate the future. I'm sorry. Future. The future. Okay, let's listen again.
Scientists currently debate the future implications of nanotechnology.
Implications of nano. Here I think a hyphen should be used, but I think not obligatory. Technology, yeah. Okay, nanotechnology. And let's re-listen just in case.
Scientists currently debate the future implications of nanotechnology.
Yeah, everything's fine. Of course, you realize that I'm a tutor, though I'm not a native speaker, and you clearly hear this, but I have quite a large vocabulary and a lot of experience, so for a lot of you, maybe for a lot of guys, this will not be so simple, yeah? You can say that, you're a tutor. So you judge, please, you compare it, you contrast with your current level, and you try to make some inferences and you understand some implications, yeah? So how do you feel about this? If it's simple, very nice. It's superb. If it's extremely difficult, you need to do a miracle with your English. That's what I want to tell. Dependent upon your desired outcome, the score that you want to get. If you want to get something like 90, okay, it's not a big deal for most guys, yeah? If you want to have something like 120 plus, it's already a challenge for most people. Okay, let's do maybe one more and we will finish. What a medium. Okay, let it be medium. Very nice. Let's listen.
An impatient driver forced his way through the crossing against the red light.
I remember an impatient driver forced his way, something like that, forced his way through the crossing. Okay, let's listen again.
An impatient driver forced his way through the crossing against the red light.
Through the crossing against the red light or a red light. Okay, we will check now.
An impatient driver forced his way through the crossing against the red light.
Yeah, against the red light. Yeah, against the red light. An impatient driver. I remember some students who are beginners. They can click here like then patient. Yeah, like patient at the hospital. Yeah, then driver and some gosh here. Yeah, I understand. If you're a beginner, it's difficult. Yes, it's difficult. Okay, my friends, I have showed you today several real tasks from real past Duolingos. Try to feel your condition, your current status, I mean about this, and take a decision if you can prepare for this independently or you need a tutor. If you need a tutor, you're welcome to contact me. I will be happy to assist. Okay, I wish you success at Duolingo, IELTS, TOEFL, SAT, and all that jazz, and see you in our next video.